After cruising the Caribbean with kids, we've realized something. The best cruise ports for families usually are not the ones with the biggest excursions or the most hyped tourist attractions. They're the ports that are easy, walkable, affordable, and don't completely exhaust you by the end of the day. Because once you start cruising with kids, logistics really matter. How far is the beach? Can you walk there? Are taxis easy? Can you get back quickly if someone melts down? Are food and bathrooms nearby? And are you spending hundreds of dollars just getting around the island? So in this video, I'm ranking the top Carnival cruise ports for families based on convenience, transportation, beach access, budget value, and overall stress level for families. These are the ports that we personally think make family cruise days much easier, more affordable, and way more enjoyable. And if you want a more detailed breakdown of any of these ports, I also have full cruise port guide videos for each destination here on the channel, along with trusted excursion and tour options we personally use linked down below in the description. Hey everyone, welcome back to Alex and Erica. If you're new here, we make cruise guides, family travel videos, and honest cruise tips to help make your vacation easier and less stressful. One mistake I see families make all the time is trying to overbook every single port day. Sometimes the best family cruise days are the simple ones where you just find a good beach, grab a pool chair early, and relax. So let's get started with the list. First up is Cozumel, Mexico. For us, Cozumel is probably still the best overall Carnival cruise port for families. Why? Because it's easy. The island is extremely cruise friendly, safe for tourists, affordable compared to many Caribbean islands, and there's something here for literally every age group. For younger kids especially, Cozumel is one of the least stressful cruise ports in the Caribbean. Taxis are easy, the cruise terminals are organized, and there are tons of beach clubs just a short drive away. Our personal preference in Cozumel is usually just doing a beach club day. Mr. Sancho's is still typically our go-to option because it's easy, it works really well with the kids, you've got pools, beach access, food, drinks, and enough space for kids to move around and enjoy themselves. Sometimes simple is just better with kids. There are also plenty of other great options like Paradise Beach or Playa Mia depending on the vibe you're looking for. Popular family activities in Cozumel include snorkeling, dolphin encounters, beginner scuba experiences, catamaran tours, and jeep tours. For families with teenagers or older kids, some of the adventure excursions here are excellent. If you want a cruise line excursion, one of the easiest family options is usually a catamaran or snorkel or a beach break day because transportation and timing are already handled for you. If you want to do things independently, most families simply enjoy just grabbing a taxi to the beach club and then spending their day there. One thing to watch out for in Cozumel is how crowded the downtown can get when multiple ships are in ports. Also, always confirm whether taxi pricing is per person or total for the vehicle because that catches a lot of cruise passengers off guard. And if you decide to just stay in the cruise port area, there's a lot of things to do just right there in the terminal with restaurants, shopping, and whatnot. You can just simply explore. But it really is nice to get out and go to one of the beaches or one of the beach clubs. Next up is Grand Turk. Grand Turk is one of the easiest and most relaxing cruise ports in the Caribbean for families. This is the kind of port where you can just walk off the ship and almost immediately start enjoying your day. The beach is right next to the cruise port. There's a pool area near the cruise center, restaurants nearby, and you really don't need to overcomplicate anything here. That simplicity is exactly why families love Grand Turk. This is also one of the better ports for families with toddlers or younger kids because you stay very close to the ship almost the entire day. When we visit Grand Turk with kids, we usually do one of two things. Either we get off the ship early and grab a good spot near the pool area, or we walk a little further down the beach where it's less crowded and a little more relaxing. The area closest to the ship fills up very quickly once multiple ships arrive. There's also Jack's Shack further down the beach, which is a really popular local food spot. It's on the beach, so that's a nice option as well. But with kids, we usually keep things pretty simple, especially if you're trying to save money. It may make more sense to eat breakfast on the ship, enjoy the beach or the pool area, and then eat once you get back on the ship. Another fun option here is renting a golf cart. We did that once and had a great time exploring the island. With younger kids, I'd probably still lean towards just enjoying the beach and the pool area because it's easy and stress-free. If your kids are a little older and more self-sufficient, they will enjoy the golf cart and that adventure, but reserve it in advance. And if you do, be sure to inspect the golf cart before you leave the rental area. If you want a cruise line excursion, the Gibbs Cay Stingray excursion is really popular for families and gives kids a chance to interact with stingrays in very shallow water. One thing to watch out for in Grand Turk is that the sand can get really hot during the middle of the day, so water shoes are definitely a good idea. Next up is Amber Cove in the Dominican Republic. Amber Cove is one of our favorite cruise ports with kids because it's just so easy. The port is extremely family friendly because there's already so much to do directly at the cruise port itself. The port area includes a huge pool, water slides, restaurants, shopping, a zip line, and tons of seating areas. Some families never even leave the port, and that's perfectly fine here. This is especially great for families with younger kids because everything is contained in one area and you're never very far from the ship. One of my biggest recommendations for Amber Cove is to get off the ship early. The best pool chairs and shaded areas go rather quickly, especially on busy cruise days. Sometimes the hardest part of cruising with kids is just finding a good chair before everybody else does. Once you grab a good spot, Amber Cove becomes one of the easiest and most relaxing family cruise ports in the Caribbean. In the Amber Cove pool area, you will see a couple pedestrian bridges. We like to be kind of in that area. Why? Because I can see the main pool, the swim up bar, but I can also look to my left and see the splash area for the younger kids. So we usually go back and forth between those areas. And before you head back to the ship, definitely make your way up to the Sky Bar. That's one of our favorite spots in Amber Cove. The views are incredible, especially for family photos with the cruise ship right behind you. And it's also just a really nice place to grab a drink, enjoy the breeze, and take in the views before heading back on board. And if you want a cruise line excursion, the Damajua waterfall excursions are very popular for adventurous families with older kids and teenagers. If you want to do something independently, many families either stay inside the port area or take a short taxi over to nearby beaches like Playa Dorado. One thing to watch out for in Amber Cove is that if you leave the port area, taxi drivers and vendors can sometimes be a little more aggressive compared to other Caribbean islands. But I've linked below a private tour option for E&J taxi tours. They're a great option in the Dominican Republic and highly rated. It's a great father-son team with a handful of licensed tour guides who work with them. But if it's your first time in Amber Cove, definitely stay in the port area because there is plenty to do right there with the family and the kids that everybody will enjoy. Also, the other thing that's kind of fun is when you head back to the cruise ship, down the pier, they do have rickshaws, those little bicycle buggies where 2 or 3 people can go in the back. You see them a lot, like in Bangladesh or other parts of the world. And so you can pay a few bucks and get someone to transport you on a rickshaw, which is pretty fun. Next up is Celebration Key. Celebration Key is still very new and it definitely feels like it's continuing to evolve for me. Celebration Key feels like a mix between Amber Cove and Coco Cay, but with a carnival twist to it. For families, this is already shaping up to be one of the easiest cruise ports Carnival offers. The lagoon and pool areas are fantastic for kids, and you really can't go wrong no matter where you end up spending your time. One of my biggest tips here is to get off the ship early, especially if you want a shaded area with good chairs or a prime location near the lagoon or splash areas. Cruise line owned destinations fill up quickly because everybody tends to stay close to the main areas. Most upgraded experiences here are booked directly through Carnival, including cabanas and premium beach experiences. This is more of a stay within the destination kind of port rather than an independent exploration port. One thing to watch out for here is the food, drinks, cabanas, upgraded experiences can add up rather quickly, so just keep that in mind. Don't feel pressured to buy the upgrades because there's plenty to do without spending any money. And finally, for the 5th port on this list, I wanted to include Mahogany Bay in Roatan, Honduras, which will soon be called Isla Tropical. Now, Mahogany Bay is one of the best adventure cruise ports in the Caribbean for families, but compared to some of the other ports on the list, it usually requires a little more transportation if you're going to go outside the port area. But if it's your first time visiting Roatan or Isla Tropical with kids, I actually think there's a really good argument for just simply staying in that cruise port area and keeping the day easy. There is already a lot going on right in the port that makes this a great family option. You've got the beach area, restaurants, shopping, great views, and the sky chairs, which are really fun experience for kids and families. And for a first visit, that may be the least stressful option while still giving you and the family a lot of fun during your cruise day there. Now, if you do want more adventure, this is actually one of the few ports where typically we leave the cruise port area and do a full excursion. It's very manageable with kids. Our personal recommendation is usually to head out towards West Bay Beach. We also visit the sloths, the monkeys, and combine that with a sightseeing or zip lining. We've done several tours there over the years and always had great experiences. And with the kids, it really makes a huge difference. There's some really good independent tour operators in Roatan that are excellent with families. I'll link one of our favorite options below because we've personally used them multiple times. And if you're not comfortable booking independently, Carnival offers very similar excursions through the cruise line. Usually it's the same local tour operators, it's just a larger group. And one thing to watch out for in Roatan is traffic can become very heavy depending on how many ships are in port, so always leave extra time to get back to the ship in the afternoons. And before I finish the video, I do want to mention one bonus port that deserves recognition even though it didn't fully fit that specific ranking, and that's Old San Juan, Puerto Rico. Now, Old San Juan is very different from other ports on the list because this isn't really a beach day for us. This is more of an exploration day, and that's exactly why we really like it. When we visit Old San Juan, we usually skip the beaches completely because there are plenty of other beach days already built into most of the cruises. Instead, we focus on exploring Old San Juan itself. One thing we really enjoy doing is taking a taxi in one direction towards the forts and the castles, and then slowly walking our way back through Old San Juan towards the ship. It makes for a really nice day. You've got colorful streets, local food, shopping, history, amazing views throughout the city, and I think your kids will really enjoy it. And this is probably one of the better cruise port options for families that like to explore together rather than just sitting at a beach all day. And one reason Old San Juan works so well logistically is because ships dock so close to Old San Juan itself. You don't need complicated transportation plans here. You can really build in your own day depending on your budget and energy level. If you want a cruise line excursion, Old San Juan sightseeing tours are great for families that want transportation included. If you want to do things independently, walking Old San Juan on your own is very easy. One thing to watch out for is the streets are hilly, uneven, and can feel really hot in the middle of the day. So bring comfortable shoes and water. Also, I've linked a walking tour that we created. It's on our website where you can just hit all the popular sites in Old San Juan, and it makes it really easy to navigate your way through the day. At the end of the day, the best Carnival cruise port for families really depends on your travel style. If you're cruising with toddlers or younger kids, Amber Cove and Grand Turk are probably some of the easiest and least stressful ports. If you want the best combination of affordability, beaches, activities, and flexibility, Cozumel is still probably your best overall. And if your family enjoys culture, food, and exploring together, Old San Juan is really, really hard to beat. But I'd love to hear from you. What's your favorite Carnival cruise port for families? Let me know down in the comments. And again, if you want a more detailed breakdown of any of these ports, I have full cruise port guide videos for each destination already here on the channel, along with trusted tour and excursion options linked down below in the description of the video. Thank you again for watching. Consider subscribing, and we'll see you in the next video.